It's not anything to be ashamed of to say, well, it kind of looks like that structure's worked quite well for the entire duration of mankind, and so maybe we mess with it at our peril.
You're hearing about family values from the childless and unmarried. Don't follow them.
The women have to stop blaming men for their sense of malaise or misery.
I didn't create you people to kill and torture and rape each other. I created you to be good to each other. I love the God who had a flood.
Okay, so this one is going to be a bit of an odd one out, because this has been running through my mind and I really need to just get it out there. The topic of this one's going to be altruism and theology. Now, for those of you who are not aware, the basic definition of altruism is the practice of someone who serves their fellow man with complete selflessness and almost indifference in their service. They are altruistic. They have no concern for their own well-being when they give service. This is completely disinterested. Is the word for an altruistic person. They have nothing to gain or they have no investment in the service that they give. It is altruistic. In the animal kingdom, altruism means animals who do things that will even hurt them in the end, as their sense of altruism is made manifest. Now, the real question is, this is also a theological term, and it's a term that's often used to describe one of the attributes of God. God is the embodiment of altruism because he is so great and so wonderful and so grand, we'll call it, that he couldn't possibly be anything but the most altruistic being, doing things and interacting with us mere mortals. This must be surely a notion that indicates God's altruism for mankind. And I'm not sure that's true at all. I mean, my main problem with the way that Christians and particularly the Catholics and the evangelicals, the reason that we keep failing against debates with atheists and our philosophy regarding them is when it comes against these abstract things like altruism and the person that we call our God. And it really falls short because the example of God as revealed in Scripture is not an altruistic being. This is not someone who is indifferent. This is not someone who is uninvested. In fact, he seems to be very, very invested in certain people and in certain actions and in certain cultures. He is rather invested in the world at large. He's rather invested in how we treat one another. He's rather invested in how we interact with one another. He is directly involved. He seems to have some kind of relationship with us. So I have to challenge this notion, this notion that God is altruistic. I don't think it's true. I do not see a God who is altruistic as being the God that is described in Scripture. That's one of my main pet peeves with Christianity at large, is that the God that we describe in philosophical abstract terms does not match the being that we read about in our own canon. And those are the chinks in our armor that those who we discuss with philosophically outside of the context of faith really get to us, because we build up God almost to define him out of existence. And I think that it would be better for us to really look at God as he is in Scripture and simply accept that rather than impose something as abstract and foolish like altruism to a deity when that might not even necessarily apply. I mean, what is so great about altruism anyway? I'm questioning the notion that altruism is a virtue, because it's clearly not a virtue to God. God is not afraid to say, you over there are important to me because of these things that you're able to do that I'm going to help you through. Now, we like to get caught up in whether or not God could have done it himself. That's not the point, and you wouldn't know either way. The fact is, God was invested in an individual, and he did show interest, and he did gain something from it. He did gain a nation when he covenanted with Abraham and Jacob. He did gain a people when he chose Moses to call Israel out of Egypt. He did gain when he sent his son to pay the ultimate price. He did gain something. It was not altruistic in the sense that God had no interest in it and got nothing out of it. That's complete bumpkus. He did get something out of it. And so I have to disagree with the notion that the God of our scripture is an altruistic being, and therefore I'm going to make the assertion that maybe, just maybe, altruism is not a virtue anyways.
Alright guys, real quick, if you guys like the channel, feel free to please leave a donation so we can keep the channel going. All donations go to support the channel, more equipment, better content. But if you don't want to just leave a donation, feel free to jump by Carnal's Menagerie. We sell basically t-shirts. If you have any kind of carnalism that you want to see on a t-shirt, please go ahead and leave it in the comments and I will get that uploaded for you. But guys, this is how you support the channel. Anyways, thank you guys as always, and just remember, stay carnal. Bye guys.